Word Wizard Publishing is proud to present Darktales, a collection of sick, twisted, scary stories, written by Stephen R. Zellers and read for you by Stephen R. Zellers and Nikki Johnson. Other books from Word Wizard Publish include Darktales Volume 2, The Eyes of Evil, The Perfect Girl, The Power to Say No More to Abuse, and The Truth About Trucking. These books are available wherever fine books are sold. We hope you enjoy Darktales, a collection of sick, twisted, scary stories.
My wife. My wife is a soulless, heartless, cast-iron witch, and I'm out of options. I'm just going to have to kill her. Financially and emotionally, she's draining all the life out of me like the blood-sucking leech she is. Tomorrow is our 5th anniversary, and she thinks I bought the Bahamas cruise just for that. I can hardly wait. Honey, come look at the moon shining over the ocean. She'll come up to the rail. I'll put my arms around her, give her a big kiss, and then heave-ho, splish-splash, hello, $1 million insurance settlement. I finished my work and locked my desk. I was off for the next 7 days, and we had to be at the airport in about 3 hours. I made my way to my car and flipped open my cell. Hey, pussycat, are you all packed?
Yes, Dan, I'm packed. You need to quit worrying so much. I told you I would be ready. Did you go to the bank and get the traveler's checks?
Sure did, I lied. I meant to get them this morning, but I knew I could still grab them on the way home.
Make sure you get enough. You know how expensive things will be on the cruise ship. I wish you would have just called me before you booked this trip, Daniel. I would have picked a much better cruise line.
Don't worry, babe. I got this, I said, biting my lip so I wouldn't tell her what I really thought.
I'll see you when you get home. Love you.
There was the telltale click of a phone hanging up before I could answer. It was obvious she wasn't interested in talking to me anymore, and the cursory "love you" before she hung up was just about sickening. It was the first time she'd said it to me in months. I wondered if there was any truth in it. Who was I kidding? The love was gone out of our relationship years ago. My wife was beautiful, and once upon a time, I really did love her. And I'm pretty sure she loved me too. But that's one of those things you think you know, or you hope you know, but you can never really know for sure. Not really. We met 7 years ago at a party at a mutual friend's house. I'll never forget the moment I first saw her. Time stopped, and everything changed in that second. It was magic and wonderful. We clicked, and being with her was the most natural thing in the world. We liked the same music, food, and movies. We seemed to have the same goals and values. For the first 2 years, everything was perfect. Then we got married. On May 29th, 2001, Jordan Rain Ballister became my wife, Mrs. Daniel Lynch. We had a real church wedding in front of God and 243 witnesses, had a great honeymoon, and even bought our little piece of the American dream, white picket fence and all. Less than a year later, I caught her in bed with our aforementioned mutual friend. So much for faithfully yours, and as long as we both shall live. As you might expect, my ego was destroyed. I was humiliated, hurt, and pissed off. We did say for better or worse, so we tried to work it out. We did the marriage counseling thing. She made promises, then broke them again and again and again. Not only did she have numerous affairs, but I'm the silly sap that financed many of her extramarital adventures. She thinks I don't know, but I do. I'm not half as naive as she thinks I am. I've known for years, and just pretended that everything was okay. It was just easier that way. I'm not sure why I never left her. I think I let her destroy my self-confidence, and somehow I felt like I could never meet anyone as pretty as she is. But what dear Jordan doesn't know is that not only has she depleted my self-esteem, she's also depleted my bank account. I'm broke. My wife has taken all I have to give. She's judgmental, pretentious, materialistic, annoying, and worst of all, she's a liar. The long and short of it is, I just don't trust her. If I trusted her, then I could forgive her. I could forgive everything else. I could love her. But the question is, the question that I'm sure many men have asked many times, how can you love someone you don't trust? So here we are. I'm about to spend my 5th year anniversary with the girl of my dreams, my beautiful wife, Jordan Rain Lynch. But what Jordan doesn't know is that she bought me an anniversary gift about 6 months ago. I took out a $1 million life insurance policy on her, and it's about to pay off.
May I have your tickets, please?
I smiled and handed her the tickets as Jordan and I boarded the Emerald Princess bound for St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. It was going to be a glorious night.
Danny, I'm going to go take a short nap in our cabin. If you want to go explore the boat, it's fine with me.
Aren't you feeling well, kitten? I asked, secretly thinking I would make a beeline for the casino if she was going to take a nap.
I'm just a little tired. Wake me up around 9 and we'll go for dinner.
Okay, baby, if that's what you want. She smiled at me and disappeared down the hall. For the next few hours, I played blackjack and drank White Russians. I even won a few bucks. Jordan is smoking hot and dynamite in bed. But this was one of those times when I could have much more fun without a nagging, whining, nothing's good enough for me princess hanging around. Hot waitresses with lots of cleavage, gambling, drinking, and sports on the big screen. This was definitely guy time. After I had my fill of all the sins I knew Jordan wouldn't approve of, I decided to check out the ship for a likely spot to do what I really came here to do. Splish splash, heave ho. To the bank, a check cashing I will go. Isn't life grand? On the second deck, I found what I was looking for. There was an isolated spot between the galley and the passenger cabins where the handrail was the only thing between being a passenger on a cruise ship or being shark bait. Splish splash, heave ho. A nice dinner, a little dancing, a few drinks. Then Jordan met me at the door wearing a spectacular black dress that left very little to the imagination. She was wearing the 2-carat diamond earrings and pendant I bought her last Christmas. Too bad, I thought. Those little sparklers were worth a fortune. But what the hell? The diamonds were just nickels and dimes compared to the big prize I had in mind. She was drop-dead gorgeous in that dress and her high-heeled stilettos. She was absolutely stunning. We kissed and played nice and cuddled like newlyweds all through dinner. She flirted and teased like she used to before we were married. I would have loved to nail her one more time, but that just wasn't on the agenda. I spoiled her rotten and played the perfect husband to a T. I bought roses and slow dance and made sure that she always had a margarita in her hand. I looked at my watch, my new Rolex that my lovely bride bought me for our anniversary gift, with my money I might add, as we danced to Unchained Medley by the Righteous Brothers. It was 1:44 a.m., almost time for this bitch to die. Let's go for a walk, I whispered in her ear. I love the smell of the salt water. She nodded and took my arm. I led her up to the steps to the second deck. My heart raced. I was strangely excited and wondered if I really had what it takes to go through with it. We'll find out soon enough, I thought. We took our time and walked slowly. Jordan was a little drunk and her perfume smelled like heaven. I was going to miss her. She did have a lot of good qualities. Her ass looked great in that dress, for one. It was a great ass, but it was also a lying, cheating ass. Splish, splash, heave ho. We stopped by the rail near the spot I had picked out. The moon sparkled over the ocean like a million shimmering diamonds. The air was cool and salty. I love you, Jordan, I said, and looked into my wife's eyes.
I love you too, Danny.
She kissed me. I kissed her back, deeply and passionately, loving her. I loved the way she felt and the way she smelled. I felt myself falling for her all over again, just like I did the night we met. I pushed her back and she fell over the side. There was a splash and I listened for a scream. There was none. Maybe she was too stunned to realize what had happened, or maybe just too drunk. It didn't matter, I decided. Around 4 in the morning, I found myself in my cabin staring up at the ceiling. It was over. I did it. Tomorrow I would play the grieving husband and tell the police my wife had had a few drinks and wandered off. Please, officer, help me find her. The Coast Guard would probably find her body within a few days. The police would confirm she had alcohol in her blood and rule the death an accident or possible suicide. There would be a funeral, and I would be sad for the appropriate amount of time. Then the insurance check would come. Splish, splash, heave ho. A check cashing we will go. I fell asleep with a smile on my face. I remember feeling a little guilty, but more than that, I felt vindicated. How dare she marry me then cheat on me? How can you love someone you can't trust? Splish, splash, heave ho. She got what she deserved, and now I was free. There was a thud around 6 in the morning that woke me out of a deep sleep. I heard running and screaming in the hallway. One of the propane tanks in the galley had exploded, and the ship was taking on water and sinking fast. Later that day, a reporter on CNN told the story.
Tragedy on the high seas today. Over 500 people drowned when the Emerald Princess sank rapidly after a powerful explosion. There was only one survivor, a Jordan Lynch, who was found exhausted but alive more than 6 miles from the ship. She stated she had fell off after drinking too much and floated on her back for over 4 hours.
3 months later, Jordan was awarded $10 million in damages from the cruise line and played the part of the grieving wife perfectly. Splish, splash, heave ho.